a new board, but not announcing who they are just yet. Instead, promising to name them later this month. Henyard is under investigation by the FBI.
Now she's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in
the $50 admission fee to the Dalton re-election campaign party of Mayor Tiffany Henyard has sparked discussions about political strategy and funding. The ongoing situation in Illinois, where her term has been marred by allegations of voting suppression and questionable appointments, has further fueled discussions. The exorbitant cost is perceived by some as an indication of exclusivity, raising concerns about Henyard's political goals and leadership style. According to her admirers, the high admission cost demonstrates her political influence, her ability to rally popular and financial support, and her fortitude and leadership in a challenging political environment. However, many contend that the outrageous expense is a last-ditch effort to win support in light of the controversy that surrounded her administration. The dispute over the price of Henyard's re-election event raises more significant questions about socioeconomic realities and political access in Dalton, where many residents face financial difficulties, rising crime rates, and mistrust of the local administration. Some people view the $50 political fundraiser as a performance to impress supporters rather than an earnest effort to encourage meaningful dialogue. Henyard supporters argue that the high cost is necessary to demonstrate political resolve. Opponents claim that the price demonstrates a disconnect between Dalton's leadership and the needs of its people, which may alienate voters who cannot afford it and increase discontent among those who already feel excluded from the political process. Henyard's re-election event appears to be a strategic attempt to reach her most loyal supporters rather than a massive campaign rally. The ongoing fundraising controversy highlights the turmoil surrounding Henyard's leadership. Critics argue that she reduces resistance as driven by jealousy or ambition rather than addressing significant issues. Her campaign's focus on high-profile events has caused additional division in the town, supporting the notion that she prioritizes maintaining her political brand over addressing Dalton's real issues. The $50 admittance fee raises concerns about Dalton's political leadership's accessibility. Critics view it as a sign of a leadership style that puts show before substance, while supporters see it as proof of Henyard's resilience and perseverance. Her fundraising tactics reflect broader concerns about her government, including claims of shady nominations and backroom activities. Due to Dalton's persistent criminal concerns, precarious financial situation, and widespread suspicion of the local government, Henyard's re-election campaign has become a focal point for more general difficulties with administration and leadership. Some residents question whether her confrontational and polarizing style is best for Dalton in the long run. As the re-election campaign progresses and funds continue to flow in, it remains to be seen whether Henyard's fundraising tactics will strengthen her support or expose weaknesses in her administration's approach. The $50 fee ultimately symbolizes Dalton's deep political rift. For others, it represents the perseverance of a leader committed to carrying on her legacy. Others think it reinforces the notion that the administration is more focused on maintaining power than on addressing the people's real needs. The high price of joining her campaign not only reflects Henyard's leadership style, but also serves as a sobering reminder of the complex ties that shape Dalton's future. Given the town's ongoing struggles, it's uncertain if Henyard's attempts to win over the public's trust and support will be successful by 2025.
Yet Tiffany Henyard has officially decided she wants to stay as mayor despite...
Tiffany Henyard has decided to stay mayor in spite of the continuing controversy. The mayor of Dalton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard, has been under fire since 2021 for alleged corruption, financial mismanagement, abuses of authority, and the use of local police to intimidate political opponents. The 200,000-person town just south of Chicago is rocked by suspicions of misconduct, and Mayor Henyard is enmeshed in a high-stakes political thriller. The episode has undermined public trust, and there are now serious questions about her ability to lead successfully, especially as she seeks re-election in the face of mounting opposition. Critics accuse her of prioritizing her own interests over the well-being of the municipality and of wasting public funds on pointless expenditures that worsen the financial instability of an already destitute populace. This financial difficulty has sparked questions about Henyard's ability to serve the community and her dedication to public service. Critics, including former supporters, argue that Henyard's government has exacerbated Dalton's issues instead of addressing critical issues like crime, infrastructure, and economic loss. Her administration has been accused of engaging in political plotting, making decisions driven more by personal ambitions than by societal interests. Because they feel their concerns have been overlooked or neglected, Dalton residents are growing more and more irate due to this impression of self-serving leadership. One of the most contentious aspects of her administration is the way she handles re-election. Despite strong opposition and a federal investigation into allegations of financial impropriety, Henyard has remained committed to running for a second term. Her recent announcement of a re-election launch party has been interpreted as an attempt to project confidence in the face of mounting challenges. However, a lot of Dalton locals think the move is tone-deaf and unrelated to the town's urgent issues. Critics claim that Henyard has failed to solve Dalton's pressing problems, leading to slow growth and growing public dissatisfaction. Her re-election campaign has sparked debate on the leadership's accountability and transparency. Her decision to run again is viewed by some as haughty, while others see it as a resolute stand against her critics. The problems surrounding her re-election campaign have caused a widening of the town's political divide. Detractors criticize her leadership for creating division, making poor decisions, and reportedly misusing her position of power to suppress opposition, while supporters praise her for her perseverance and resolve. For some, Henyard's leadership exemplifies the bravery and tenacity needed to overcome challenging political challenges. Critics respond that her financial mismanagement and indifference to pressing issues show her inability to lead effectively. Furthermore, they believe she has misused her position to further her personal interests rather than the general well-being of the community. Others think that her pursuit of political power shows a lack of regard for Dalton residents' interests. It is clear how Henyard supporters and critics differ from one another. Will Dalton voters opt for a better path that emphasizes accountability, transparency, and moral leadership? Or will the community continue to experience dysfunction and conflict? The outcome of this election will have a significant effect on Dalton's future. Henyard's re-election might be seen as a vote in support of her managerial style, notwithstanding the controversies that have dogged her administration. However, if she loses, it could indicate a shift to a more transparent and accountable government that prioritizes the needs of the populace over party interests. Henyard's handling of the charges against her continues to garner attention. A federal inquiry into her financial practices is underway in both Dalton and Thornton Township, where she also serves as supervisor. The investigation's emphasis on allegations that Henyard embezzled public funds for personal expenses raises questions about her leadership and commitment to public service. However, Henyard has largely refuted these allegations, blaming her political adversaries for the town's problems without providing evidence. In an almost 90-minute Facebook Live performance, Henyard defended herself and accused her critics of preparing a smear campaign. However, her lengthy remarks haven't eased public concerns. Many residents believe that her refusal to effectively address the problems is the only reason why tensions have risen. One of the local cleaning crew members, Chast, has been vocal in her criticism of Dalton's leadership's lack of transparency and accountability. Many people, including Chast, believe that Henyard has not solved the town's main issues and that her efforts have only made matters worse. This frustration is shared by trustees and other local politicians who have grown increasingly disillusioned with Henyard's leadership. Many believe that she is deliberately avoiding accountability by acting in this way. Henyard has used evasive statements and disdainful words in an effort to divert criticism of her. However, as the FBI investigation continues and political tensions rise, the gap between her defensive stance and the public's demand for meaningful answers continues to grow. As the tension between the people and the administration reaches a breaking point, many residents are calling for change. Henyard's reluctance to address these problems has increased community resentment, and many fear that her re-election campaign will further polarize the town instead of enacting much-needed reform. Given the growing controversy surrounding Henyard's leadership, Dalton residents have started to think critically about their administration. They now have to choose between continuing on the current path and demanding a leadership change that prioritizes transparency, accountability, and genuine public service. The next election in Dalton will be a pivotal occasion with important implications for the town's future. Despite increasing criticism, civic engagement is crucial today. Henyard remains hopeful about her chances of winning re-election, despite the fact that the pursuit of political power has further split Dalton citizens. The next election could have a significant impact on the town's destiny. The question now is whether Henyard's leadership has become a liability for Dalton. The decisions made in the following months will have long-term consequences for the town.